Good morning, Board of GE. Thank you for having us back. I'm the Mayor of Pittsfield, joined by my fellow councilmen, Braden Hewitt and Ethan Hensley. And today we are going to talk about the ethics regarding the GE and the Housatonic River crisis. So starting in the 1940s, GE had been using PCBs, which are polychlorinated biphenyls. And these are carcinogenic materials that have been popular in the industry, in the plastics industry, for quite some time. What GE had been doing, however, is been pumping them into the Housatonic River. And what this does is it disrupts the food chain, destroys the ecosystem, and causes an increase in potential risk for cancer in both animals and humans. So in 1979, the EPA made GE pay for research to be conducted into the river because Congress banned the use of PCBs in 1979 as well. And from this research, three important facts were found. One, in the Housatonic River, the average level of PCBs in brown trout was 16.5 parts per million. Just to give some reference, the FDA limit for consumption of fish is 2 parts per million. So this is over 8 times more concentrated than safe for consumption. GE has placed some signs around the river, but nothing's to say that that will stop uneducated fishermen from fishing in the river and eating these fish. The next major fact is that the EPA estimates there's between 100,000 and 600,000 pounds of PCBs present in the river sediment and floodplain soil. And in 1999, from this, the EPA made a mandate that GE should ship these PCBs out of state. However, GE has been fighting to do this, and in 2018, they made an appeal where they proposed they will make their own sites within Massachusetts and ship the PCBs there. This shows that GE has been unethical in regards to the environment, and it decreases their public image because they just want to cut costs rather than helping out the environment. The next major fact is that the PCBs from the Housatonic River crisis were tracked all the way into Connecticut, which is a distance of over 140 miles. This shows that this is a public disaster waiting to happen. The longer GE fights the mandate, the more they run the risk of costly lawsuits in the future. And lastly, the Housatonic River is a public natural resource that belongs to the people. GE has polluted this, and it is their responsibility to give it back to the people of Pittsfield. I'm now going to pass it over to Graydon Hewitt to talk about that economics regarding the situation.
Hi, my name is Graydon, and I'm going to be talking about the economic responsibility of GE. So for some history, Congress chose to ban the use of PCBs in around 1979. GE had a very symbiotic relation with the city of Pittsfield. GE provided about 13,000 jobs, and Pittsfield's population is about 50,000 for some perspective. Thus, GE was providing jobs for roughly 1/4 of the population. However, following the ban, GE chose to leave its plastics division in Pittsfield. Thus, it left these 13,000 jobs. That number went to 0. Therefore, what happened was that poverty rates increased, all these jobs were lost, and also crime rate and drug deals also happened, particularly around the uninhabited 52 acres of land that GE left. There are some benefits for taking economic responsibility for its ethical actions. By choosing to build a sustainable business model, GE will be able to improve its image by showing that it is willing to take action for its ethical issues. To continue, there are benefits for GE too. By choosing to build a sustainable business model, GE will avoid externalizing costs on its community and internalizing profits by choosing to be self-sustainable. When GE externalized the costs, there were some downturns within the community that also ended up spreading to other communities. The PCBs, while most concentrated in Pittsfield, ended up spreading roughly 140 miles downstream, affecting more and more people over time. Thus, by choosing to build this sustainable business model, GE will avoid externalizing these costs and having to go through suits or having to worry about these kinds of ethical issues in the future. I would now like to turn it over to Ethan, who will discuss GE's image moving forward.
Hello everyone, my name is Ethan, and alongside with Chris and Graydon, I am another fellow council member of Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and I will be focusing on the ethical considerations of our solution. So there's one thing that I want to point out is that in GE's mission statement, they talk about how they want to quote unquote cure the world. We do not believe as the city of Pittsfield that they have lived up to this mission statement because they have polluted this river and not decided to clean it up completely. We don't quite see how GE can put this in their mission statement and yet not live up to it completely and decide to clean up this river. Curing the world does not just involve the present, but it also involves the past and the future going forward. So to completely cure the world as GE wants, you have to solve the problems of the past, which involves cleaning up the river, removing the appeal against the EPA mandate, and really doing your best to solve the issues that GE created in the past. Our solution is for you guys to rebuild through eco-imagination. So eco-imagination is the environmental sustainability and protection branch of GE. They focus on creating innovative products that try to reduce pollution throughout the world. So we believe that you guys should station this branch's headquarters in Pittsfield to be an environmental light and beacon to the globe. By doing this, you are essentially able to cure the economic stagnation as well as the environmental issues in Pittsfield as well as from Pittsfield. If this branch is focused on creating products that try to reduce pollution in Pittsfield as well as throughout the world, we believe that the entire Houstonic River's pollution issue would be solved completely. On to the next point that I want to address about GE. It is about being a good ethical corporate citizen. So by polluting the river and not solving the issue now, as Chris previously stated, it could eventually impact GE long term. Furthermore, we don't believe that them trying to externalize costs and internalizing revenue is being a good corporate citizen, not only to themselves, but also to the world in general. Furthermore, we believe this is great for GE too if they were to bring this branch back, because this is a great way to market and say that they really are trying to improve their image, not only to themselves, but also to businesses and consumers outside, and saying that GE are saying, hey, we GE are really open for business and we're trying to clean up our image. And we really want to make sure that we are cleaning up our past so that we can have a brighter and better future going forward. Thank you.